Water Supply and Sanitation Program. Phase 1. Using additional funds from Global Environment Facility Grant to water supply and sanitation for climate-proofing investments in drought and flood-prone areas of East and Northeastern Uganda. During the financial year 2017-2018, Quarter 2 monitoring and video documentation was done from 10th December to 14th December 2017. It covered 3 program components: water for production in Apache and Otuke districts, construction of sanitation facilities in drought and flood-prone areas of Komi district, and attending site meetings for the Bududa Naboya Gravity Flow Scheme, Phase 2. Field updates in Apache district were on rainwater harvesting and valley tanks.
It's not all that very good, especially in as far as the rainwater harvesting tank is concerned. We have just commissioned the project 2 weeks ago. We had a team from Ministry of Water and the key stakeholders attended. But we notice commendable challenges. One of those challenges was the issue of time management. We are seeing that the contractor cannot complete the work in time.
Currently, Ministry of Water and Environment is constructing 252 rainwater harvesting tanks for households. The tanks have been distributed to 4 critical water-stressed sub-counties of Ibuje, Chawente, Nambyeso and Akokoro, targeting communities living in water-stressed areas. Every household beneficiary has already contributed Uganda shillings 100,000. For now, they have all paid up and demanding for the tanks, but the contractor has only constructed 50 rainwater harvesting tanks in Ibuje sub-county in the past 4 months. The delay is activated by a thin team, which is not consistent, causing variations. The contractor has trained masons who will benefit in the skills transfer. To improve monitoring, the district water officer was nominated to supervise works but lacks the project core documents such as designs, contractors' bills of quantities, and the contract. However, the challenge remains. The consultant on the rainwater harvesting tanks has never been seen in the field. Therefore, these are some of the observations during the monitoring and documentation. No site meetings have ever been held for rainwater harvesting tanks since the launch. The tanks have no labels or imprinting or engraving. Some rainwater harvesting tanks have started cracking, especially the base, because of no curing. There are no general signposts to show the projects being undertaken. The team also visited 2 of the 3 valley tanks being constructed in Apache district. At Oparamo Valley Tank in Awila Parish, Akokoro sub-county, excavation was complete, waiting for the construction works, like constructing a pit latrine for the community, fencing, building reservoir tanks, and setting up the pump. In Chawente sub-county, a Jar Valley tank was excavated, but the contractors encountered a rock and abandoned the task temporarily. But the community planned to use the water to start irrigation when the facility is complete.
We use for animals, drinking, bathing, and so many things. Even for agriculture, we also use it for irrigation. Small one, making this, digging this tomato, and other things, small like cabbages.
Meanwhile, 1 valley tank in Nambyeso sub-county is at excavation stage. However, the monitoring and documentation team observed the following at all sites in Apache district. There were no signposts seen anywhere for works going on. Only 1 site meeting for valley tanks has ever been held 4 months after work started. The district production team is not involved in making the valley tank water useful for irrigation, fish farming, among others, even for the already existing valley tanks and dams. The district water office doesn't have any project document like project designs, contractors' contracts, or even bill of quantities, making it difficult for supervision.
They have nominated us to be now the core supervisor because the document had not given us any role. You will look at the document, you say now, we are supposed to supervise this work. Where is our role here?
In Otuke district, Water for production includes installation and construction of rainwater harvesting tanks and construction of valley tanks in Agweng village in Okwang sub-county, Ogor sub-county, Odwari sub-county. Excavation started on 11th November 2017. Rainwater harvesting tanks have been distributed in 9 sub-counties to solve the problem of safe water coverage. So far, 14 households have already paid for the tanks, although no plumbing fittings and gutters have been installed. Nevertheless, some ferro-cement rainwater harvesting tanks have started cracking, especially the base, because of no curing. The contractor for rainwater harvesting tanks has 2 teams of 5 people each working in the same sub-county. The supervising consultant staff are not on ground. 2 valley tanks are at excavation level, Okwang Valley Tank in Agweng village and Ogor Valley Tank. However, work on Achiko Valley Tank in Adware sub-county has not yet started. However, according to Otuke District Water Office, the supervising consultant for valley tanks has been on the site twice. The contractor for valley tanks started last month, that is November 2017.
Actually, they don't have technical people at site. That is what I'm trying to see. And my appeal to the authority, the people who is handling these projects, especially to the ministry, they have to work with the team from the district so that they have the close supervision.
On the other hand, it seems the contractor, Sumadura Technologies for valley tanks, has subcontracted Davimark Limited to do valley tank excavation. The workmen at the site didn't provide any design documents for the excavation that they were doing. At the site, work on Okwang Valley Tank, the workmen at the site explained that work had stalled for 4 days because of lack of fuel and the bulldozer.
Omulimo si mubi, ekibadde kitusibye mafuta, tugenze kuleta mafuta n'okufuna service of machine n'okufuna ku sente zituyambako wano ku ground.
The district water office explained that they don't have any project documents including designs, the contractor's contract, or even bills of quantities, making it difficult to supervise works.
Some 2 weeks back, I came here and I tried to discuss with them. I asked for the design, for the drawing, the specification, but they don't avail it out. So even the people on site, they don't have the design.
The district water office has not been supported by the project to conduct supervision or site visits. On the overall, the district production team is not involved in making the valley tank water useful for irrigation or fish farming.
We have already accepted everything to give our development in our place.
In Kumi district, the monitoring and documentation team met the district water officer, Peter Patience Muaga, on the progress of works under the climate resilient sanitation facilities. All the sites are currently active and all pits have been excavated and construction is going on at most sites. However, the contractor, Stracon, seems to have only one team working on all the sites. The team visited different sample sites in Ongino sub-county. At Ongino Primary School, construction work on the VIP latrines was at roofing level for one block of latrine and the other one at the ring beam. Drop holes had not yet been put and signposts had just been erected by the roadside, but far away from the school or latrine site. The required latrine pit depth had not been reached and the contractor elevated the facility about 1 meter above the ground, which will require backfilling to level the ground. The use of transparent roofing sheet contravenes the VIP technology. At Atuitui Primary School, work of the VIP latrines was past the ring beam for the one block of latrine and at the wall plate for the second one. The construction team was concentrating on completing the second block. At this site was a female trainee mason, Akelo Rachel Rebecca. She is married with 2 children. She worked together with other site workers.
I've learned many things. The ways of starting how to start the building the holes, and when our farmer is measuring, he's together with us when we is setting.
The site foreman says Akelo Rachel Rebecca is a bit slow but interested in learning. At Akum Primary School, roofing for the VIP latrines was completed. There were no workers at the site. Here, no transparent iron sheet was used to provide additional lighting. Unfortunately, there were human excreta around sanitation facility, although the drop holes had not yet been opened. At Kapolin Primary School, the cesspit was at roofing level for both latrines and a transparent roofing sheet was used. The roof was done after 2 courses of brickwork, contrary to the 3 courses standard. Both latrine blocks lacked reinforced concrete ring beam before laying the latrine base slab. The plastered walls also had dips, indicating poor quality of sand was used. Here also, the signpost was erected far away from the latrine site. At Agunga landing site in Akede Parish, Ongino Sub-County, is a public sanitation facility under construction. Work is at roofing level, though not yet plastered. Meanwhile, local authorities have identified 2 people who will maintain the latrines and charge users 200 shillings. In Bududa district, under the rainwater harvesting project, 107 polyplastic rainwater harvesting tanks have been installed, and all the 150 rainwater harvesting tanks have been distributed across the entire district. At Bududa General Hospital, the team met and held a discussion with the acting medical superintendent, Dr. Sylvian Tegeka, and human resources officer, Emmanuel Blulu. Sometimes the hospital receives water from the Naboya Gravity Flow Scheme. The last supply had been on 14th December 2017.
Water is everything in the running of the day-to-day duties of the hospital. Okay. So, given the chance that we are now going to have the gravity flow supply and water to the hospital.
During times of water shortage, the hospital sends mothers to collect water for their own use from nearby streams. Work is ongoing for the hospital plumbing system to prepare for the gravity flow water supply when officially opened to the beneficiaries. Areas that need water are the theatre, maternity, outpatients department, laboratory and toilets.
Of course, this ward needs water 24 hours. And we deal with blood. And you know, with the ward, we have so many things which can, in fact, we can get rid of many infections with only water and soap. But
most of the machines that they use, they need constant flow of water. Have water right now, but the taps are not working. So we need to have the plumbing system worked on, the fittings being made, so that we can have that free flow of water.
The contractor for Phase 1 completed the construction of water treatment facility, and water is already going through the filtration chambers, but not yet treated with chlorine. The distribution mains and tanks have been completed. The contract for Phase 2 has completed water pumping to Naboya storage reservoir tanks, distribution mains and tanks, and the brake pressure tank. The work on distribution sub-mains is still ongoing, and the installation of tap stands, 314 tap stands in number, have been installed out of the 670 fully booked and paid for by households. The team held site meetings at Buloli A, where the reservoir tank had been installed and ready to supply water to residents of Buloli A and Buloli B. However, land for some distribution tanks to facilitate washout, among others, has not yet been fully procured by the district.
The government must do all. If it means buying off for more land, that will have to be done. Because I don't think there's anyone who would want to compromise on the issue of having a sustained water flow. I think we all need the water.
There were some changes made on the tap stands at the recommendation of AFDB to have a tap with a wash basin through trough and tap stand back wall. It was also worth noting that 3 female trainees and 1 trainee mobilized by the districts have been on the site training and learning for 1 week now, but 6 graduate trainees, internees, attached by the ministry had completed the training. The monitoring and documentation team has not yet received updates from the forestry component in charges, but from the last reporting and discussion with one field of forestry natural resources officers, there hasn't been much since the end of last quarter when some of the tree seedlings were delivered.
Seedlings when we still had rains and they are all distributed to these 3 sites and were planted.
So that means if I went to these different sites, I would actually see the trees there growing.
Yes, if we went there today, we could see some trees.
Which sites are those?
We had the 3 sites, Udoda, Kalas and Ubayoka, plus here in Town Council along the river bank.
However, these are the recommendations. The consultant need to ensure that the rainwater harvesting tanks contractor increase their team on site so as to finish work within the planned time. Ministry of Water and Environment may consider doing joint site meetings together with the consultant because there are some quality workmanship issues cited already, as the contractor is taking advantage of the consultant and Ministry of Water and Environment supervision's weaknesses. Ministry of Water and Environment needs to provide the district water officers with project design documents such as plans, bills of quantities, contractor's contract to aid the district water office support effective supervision. Ministry of Water and Environment needs to recall the consultants for both rainwater harvesting tanks and valley tanks to work out efficiencies and absenteeism on site, which will compromise quality of project deliverables. Ministry of Water and Environment and the District Water Office need to follow up all the nominated trainees to ensure they are trained and facilitated to acquire skills with the ability of transfer. Ministry of Water and Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries or district production departments need to cooperate on the water for production facilities and be involved. Production department will have to optimize water for production facilities after construction.